Hello! So I just crossed off something on my New Year's resolution I wanted to do, and that was start selling my art at markets, like farmers markets, flea markets, that kind of business. At first I wanted to sell at conventions, but those are pretty expensive and they don't really make a lot of sense to me to actually start selling your art there. So this year I started at like smaller events, and I think next year I'm going to try to graduate into more larger events. But in this video I wanted to go over my experience vending, and I also wanted to give some tips for artists, craftspeople who are going to vend for the first time. If you want to finally start making some money off your art and dip your toes into the vending market, then this video is for you. Now, just for some quick background context, products I sold were original art prints, stickers, and quick like $1 like sketches. As of this recording, I sold for about 4 months in 2023. I started in May and it's now August. I'm winding down for the season. I think next year I'm going to focus, like I said, on more specialized events like smaller cons and artist alley events, get-togethers, stuff like that. As for the markets I sold at, they were two different markets. One was a farmer's market and the other a flea market. Okay, starting off with some general tips. Have a booth buddy. This is going to be crucial for having to use a restroom, having to grab a bite, for your lunch break, your snacks, what have you. Tip number 2, be wary of the weather. This is probably one of the most important tips. For me, the thing that would always sneak up on me is the wind. So make sure your display is going to be secure. Make sure you have some weights for your canopy. I've seen people like at markets who were not prepared and like their canopy just starts moving, so be prepared for that. If you want, this is what I did, is I did like a mock setup in my backyard, and that's great because you can really get a feel for how your booth's gonna look like. You really want to set up your booth so that people are invited to come in and like check it out. You don't want to make like a hostile environment for your customers. All right, on to attitude, mindset. You're gonna have days where your faith is tested. You're gonna have bad days. For me, I think the least I made in one day was $8. So that can be pretty that can be a punch to the gut, but you got to keep going. The important thing is to take notes on your shortcomings. That's what I did, and try something new every time. Don't be just doing the same thing over and over again if you're going nowhere. That being said, this isn't for everyone. Give yourself like 2 to 3 different events or times to see if this is good for you. Business might pick up down the line. That's what happened to me. I had like a really bad day, and then I said, okay, I'm gonna do it one more time, and then I made significantly more the next time I did that after I was about to give up. Talk to your booth neighbors. Get along with them, support local booths if you can, support small business. You never know who you'll make friends with or what you'll discover. You might pick up a new hobby. You might see, some kind of art form that you didn't even know existed. All right, moving on to finances. So I'm gonna go over what it cost to vend at the markets I sold at. So Market A charged me $85 for a 10 by 10 space, which is a lot, but this place has a pretty big name, and it gets a lot of business. So I kind of think it's worth it. It's a big market with a lot of clientele. Market B charged $50 for a 10 by 10 booth. It's at like a smaller town, which makes sense. It was actually the opening day for that small farmer's market. So, and that's for each time you vend too. Like, it's not like a one-time thing. You pay up each time. Some places, I know they do this, they'll have discounts for returning vendors, but don't rely on that. As for like the profit model, I'd say it's feast or famine. The most I made in a day was about $118, and that was because I had some family stop by and support me. Lowest, like I said, $8, and I average about $50 or so. So you can see it's not very profitable for me this year, but it's just my first year. So if I were to continue at the same place that I'm vending at next year, I think it'd probably go up, definitely. Moving on to gear. If this is your first time vending and you don't have a lot of gear to work with, get ready to spend some money, like hundreds of dollars type money. Easy Ups canopies, they go for anywhere between $100 and $150. Foldable tables, 90 bucks. Cash boxes, 30, so on and so forth. The most expensive thing I bought when starting out was my display rack. It was about 200 bucks for 3 of these bad boys, which I ended up only using 2 of them. And then I cut them down because they wouldn't fit in the car. You know what? Don't do that. In retrospect, I'd instead invest in some nice boxes and put them in there. As for displaying them, I don't know. I've seen people like put strings up and clip them on there. What I did is I had art for display, like on the wireframes, and then kept my supply in these like plastic bins, all unorganized. I should probably change that. Bring water. If it's summer, bring more water than you think you'll need. Setting up alone like takes up twice as long, and you'll drink up a lot of water. Make a tip jar. QR codes are your friend. I had one linking to my commission page on my website. Business cards aren't really necessary, but I like them. They're cheap and they're very efficient. Not everyone's gonna want one. Not everyone's gonna, ask for them. I just love them because they're convenient. But I've also seen people use QR codes leading to their social media. That works too. Oh yeah, and business cards are great for networking events if you go to those. Get one of these. I bought the contactless one that reads the chip, but there's also an app you could put on your phone, but that only accepts contactless, Definitely get one of these. I used Venmo. If your market is at night, I recommend these bulbs. Get one of these. They're pricey, but they're worth it. And the more gear you have, they're more worth it, obviously. Plus, if you, give up on selling on markets, you could use it, I don't know, for like beach trips and whatnot. Moving on to products. So I sold prints, I sold stickers, and I sold sketches, like I said. The sizes for my prints are 5x7, 11x14, and 11x17. I ordered my prints through Cat Print. They're based in New York, so and I live in LA, so it takes about 2 weeks to get my prints. But I like supporting small businesses. Oddly enough, their cheapest product I get from them is 11x17. Is their 11x17 prints. They're like dirt cheap. They're like 98 cents each. Stickers, I actually had my friend print them out for me. I paid him, of course, but if you don't have access to that, I hear Sticker App is a good place to get your stickers from. I recommend having smaller products. They definitely sell more than your larger products. It's important to get those impulse buys, definitely. For example, I made big prints, but my best sellers are my smaller prints and my quick $1 drawings. And speaking of those, my $1 drawings, I do them quick. They usually take me about 1 to 2 minutes, and customers usually leave some tips along with that. Just a heads up, get ready to draw people or their pets. That's what I did. But then again, I do a lot of character art. So I guess I kind of invite that. If you're selling at a general market, have something for everyone. For example, I have a lot of video game and anime fan art in my portfolio. But I also drew some landscapes for an older audience. Although one time I did have like a soccer mom light up when she saw my Death Note print. That was pretty funny. Packaging. So my process for packaging sales, if I were to sell prints, I would go to my supply. I'd grab the print, put it in my plastic sleeve, put it in a business card within the merch, and hand it to the customer. That way, they know where to find me. In conclusion, I had a good time, my first time selling and putting my name out there. I hope you found this video helpful if you're considering selling your art at markets. My advice in the end is give it a shot. You're gonna make some impressions, you're gonna make some money, and best of all, you're gonna make some friends. As I get older, I find it's harder to make new friends. And it turns out socializing is good for you. Who knew? But I want to know, have you sold at markets before? What was your experience like? Did you have a good time? Bad time? Let me know in the comments. We'll talk about it. Oh, yeah, okay. But thanks for watching, everyone. And a quick FYI, for folks wanting more frequent content, I'm gonna start posting my short form video on here as not reels. What are they? Reels is the Instagram thing. I forget what they're called. Shorts? I think so. I think shorts. Yeah, because I normally post on like TikTok and stuff. So wait, say hi. Say hi. But yeah, I'm gonna start posting those on here on YouTube. They're mostly like speed paints, art challenges, stuff like that. But again, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you next time. All right, see ya.